Welcome to the series for Masters in US The Complete Guide. So, a quick disclaimer, this series is going to be more about the application process. So, it's going to cover everything from taking the decision to pursue Masters to actually getting an admit, hopefully, to your dream university. So it's not going to cover my experience for this program or anything like that. It's going to be focused on the application process. So since we got that out of the way, let's start with my introduction. So I'm Abdul Malik, and I'm a computer science engineer. I've graduated like a month back, 2022, and I've also built an application called OU Notes. It has 30,000 plus downloads on the Android Play Store. It's not really available in iOS right now. We don't even have plans for that, but maybe in the future. And I've also been accepted into a prestigious international program called Google Summer of Code. You guys might also know it as GSOC. So it's managed by Google. It's an open source development program. You can find a lot of information about it online. The most relevant achievement for this video is getting an admit into Virginia Tech University. It is consistently ranked in the top 30 or even sometimes in the top 40 uh, universities for computer science, especially masters. For bachelors, it's ranked as in the top 20. Now, before we move ahead, I want to take this opportunity to talk about rankings. Now, what are rankings? Now, in every ranking list, there is a company behind it that funds that ranking list. The surveys, etc., etc. It takes a lot of funding, a lot of effort. So there's a company behind it, and that company decides which areas should be given what percentage of weightage. For example, the US News ranking gives 40% weightage for research. So, if your course is not research based or you're not interested in research and you are interested in employability, or in other words, getting a high paying job, and you don't have anything to do with research, this ranking list makes no sense to you. So, when you Google things like what is the rank of this particular university, and you get something like top 20, top 30, don't just stop there, and don't just accept the answer that Google gives you. Just go. It just takes a few extra clicks to understand the reasoning and the weightage behind the ranking. So you should also be looking at the proper ranking, not just just Google it and whatever the first answer comes up, okay, this university is ranked this. So this ranking is based on US News, so it's heavily focused on research. A quick shout out, I'm going to be available in I'm gonna. You can connect with me on Instagram, and I take questions every Saturday. So if you have any questions or feedback, you guys can head over to Instagram, and we can connect. Okay, let's continue with our series. Let me first give you an overview. So we are in this video right now, and as you will see later in the video, I've divided the whole application process for masters in US in 5 steps, and each step is going to have its own exclusive video, because I don't want this video to become like huge 2 hour 3 hour video. So I'm going to be dividing this into 5 steps, and this whole uh, all of these 6 videos are going to be available to you as a playlist, and you can find the link in the description. Let's continue. So step one is going to be about deciding to go for MS. Now, in this step, you're going to be deciding MS. You're going to be taking the decision whether you want to pursue MS or do you want to go for other avenues. Let's say, an MBA startup, you have your GATE exams, or masters. Instead of masters abroad, do you want to do it in your home country? What are the avenues for that? So you're going to decide that. You're going to decide, okay, so if you've decided that you want to go abroad, then you will be deciding the country, you will be deciding the intake, whether it's fall, there's spring, there's also summer. So which intake do you want to go? I'm going to be speaking about that in depth in the step one. And then coming to step two, It's all about preparation for MS. Now, let's be clear on one thing. This particular series is exclusively about the US. So I'm not going to be talking about UK, Europe, Australia, or other countries. So this is exclusively about MS. The first step was about deciding. So I'm just gonna give you a bunch of options like other countries, so that your decision to pursue MS is actually an informed decision, and it's not just because someone is telling you to pursue MS in the US. Okay, coming back to step two, it's gonna be about preparation for MS, where I'll be talking about your GRE, your IELTS, and all of the other exams that are required. I mean, there's only two exams are generally required. Now, I'm going to be sharing my preparation, my scores, and my friends' scores, and I'll also be sharing a bunch of resources and my experience with these exams, and also the timeline, which is very, very important. Coming to the next step, step three is going to be about MS applications. Now, out of the whole series, if you're going to be watching just a single video, this is my recommendation, because this is going to be a bit long, and it's going to be packed with information that took me 10 months to even a year to actually understand, because some things you can read on the internet and understand, and some things you actually have to experience to get the knowledge and actually understand what's happening. This is a very important video. I'm going to be talking about SOP. I'm going to be talking about your LORs, I think the most important part of this step is going to be about university shortlisting, where I'm going to be mentioning the attributes or values that you have to look for in every single university. Now, it depends on you what kind of weightage for every attribute you want to give. For example, some people prefer a location, some people prefer a certain program, some people want a specific course, some people want highest rate of employability. Some people just want an assistantship so that they can waive their fees. We're going to also be talking about scholarship. So there are different attributes. So I'm going to give you a big list of attributes, and you can just rank them according to your priority. So this is a very important part. And then the next step is about getting admits, and then what do you do next. For example, if you have more than one admit, how do you choose between the university? So that's going to be part one. The second part, or the biggest part, is going to be about your housing. How do you find a house? And it's not as easy as you think, because housing in India is very different from housing in US. There are a lot of rental agents, rental companies over there. So how do you contact them? And then you have your student bodies. How do they help in housing? And then I'm also going to be talking about airplane tickets, and I'm going to be sharing a tip with you which potentially might save you 50,000 to 1 lakh INR or rupees. So this is also very important, but this is more relevant for someone who is pursuing MS in the next year or in a few next months. And the last step is going to be about what can you do right now so that your profile for masters in US can be improved. And this I would recommend every single student who has 1+ years to pursue masters, no matter where you are in your life right now. Like if you've graduated, or if you're still in second year, third year, you can still watch this, and I'll be sharing tips and tricks on how you can update your profile, or how you can improve your profile to get even better universities or admits. So I think we've completed the overview, and I hope to see you in the next video where I talk about part one.